What's up, Chicklets? It's your boy Chicken, and I'm back once again doing another reaction video. This time I am checking out some gameplay, man. This is the Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase, character creator, Hogwarts Tour. This will be a big open world game, so I'm really looking forward to this. I heard about it like a little bit ago. I saw like a trailer, and I've been trying to dive into these open world games. I'm playing Zelda right now, and then Pokemon's coming out soon, so I'm gonna be playing that. Can't wait. But anyways, let's check this trailer out and see, what it's all about. My ex-wife is a big Harry Potter fan, man. I've seen all the movies and stuff. Graphics look pretty good. It's like so many different elements that go into like the Harry Potter stuff, the magic and the spells. It's gonna be interesting to see how like all that stuff is incorporated in the game.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first Hogwarts Legacy gameplay stream. I'm Chandler Wood, community manager here at Avalanche Software, and we've got a lot of really exciting stuff to show you today. But before we get into showing you the game and gameplay, I have a few wonderful guests that I need to introduce you to. First up, we have our community guest host. He brings you the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy content. He's the local Merlin conspiracy theorist.
Guilty as charged, yes.
One half of Expecto Go,
Yeah.
James Whitehead.
Thanks, Chandler. Yes, I'm James Whitehead of Expecto Go, bringing you guys the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy.
All right. Well, I don't know what they talking about, but this probably some of the creators, man. So that's cool. But I really want to just get into the gameplay and see. We'll learn about it. It's a lot. Oh, they talking about stuff in the game?
Wait to go over this gameplay. I just gotta say that.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome, thank you. And
All right, let's just skip ahead a little bit.
We wanted to let you create this character. So, Andrew, who is going to be doing all of our gameplay capture today.
Oh, you custom your character? Cool.
I'm going to be handing you the controller.
Oh my gosh. All right, I won't break.
That's what I wanted with Zelda when I was like playing. I was like, man, I know Link is Link, but it's like, it'd be cool, but.
So a lot like other games, there's some initial settings that you can choose for your character that just kind of get them into like the ballpark of what you want to be, who you want to be, and what you want to change.
Oh man.
And then once you're in that ballpark,
Drastically different from like the way Pokemon looks, bro. They look super realistic.
Our goal with this is to make sure that for anyone that fantasized about bringing themselves to the school for the very first time, that they feel like they have the options in order to represent who they are and essentially bring themselves to Hogwarts or whatever character they want to bring to Hogwarts.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Every time I play a game, bro, I basically want to, create myself in the game.
It's all about you.
Okay. All right. So, okay, yeah, that's me. We're here. That's me right there. All right, so that's step one.
We're pretty close, but let's look at everything here.
Let's go over
play
here.
around with some of these options, like really.
All right, so what are we looking at?
Bro, just like in wrestling, man, you could get so lost in the customization part of it. Like, it's just, before you know it. Obviously, like the wrestling games, you constantly can create multiple characters, but this is just one.
So now you're just kind of getting into the details.
But you can make it, try to get your likeness there, so that's kind of cool. Or the likeness to someone else.
Are going to want it right away. Even though it's an option later in the game, you can collect different types of glasses, put them on later. We give you some options right up front if you want to have glasses for your character.
Oh man, oh my gosh, look at the structure of the faces with this. Wow, you guys thought of everything.
All right, I know how this kind of stuff works.
Those are your glasses there.
Oh man, and this
All right, we'll see how his character turns out.
Legacy thing to bounce. I'm not even gonna just I'm not afraid. And we can just
Get a quick look at some of the different hairstyles.
Green a little bit.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is like typical in most kind of creative character type of modes. So, I mean, not much to kind of watch here.
Oh my gosh.
They got a nice variety, though, I see.
And different hairstyles.
These are more subtle options, darker. options where star option.
Yeah.
You know,
Theory.
the pitch slider.
It's a subtle slider, but you can hear it.
On the vocals.
You'll be
Okay.
People who. Oh.
Amazing.
What'd you think, character creator? We're good.
I'm good. Let's explore Hogwarts and let's get into some combat.
All right.
Here we go.
Using
Get into the
dev kit. We're gonna
meat and
be
potatoes.
loading up, save a little later in, so that we can show you more about Hogwarts and give you that taste of combat. All right, Andrew's got some gameplay pulled up for us. Starting out, James, there you are. You're wearing the House Fanatic robes from the account linking.
Thank you. I do look good. And this is our first look at the Hufflepuff common room, I'm assuming. I mean, dorm room.
The dorm room.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering like if that was inside the castle or like the regular world, but
so, right now
a
we know
dorm
some
room.
things about,
So you're basically at
about the
home.
HUD, because this is the first time we're showing it. So kind of going over it from right to left, on the bottom right is what we call our spell diamond.
Mm-hmm.
So those are, everything that you see in it are slottable spells. So we have over 20 slottable spells that you can earn over the course of the game.
Okay.
And that's where the player can place them and use them and access them very quickly. To the top left of that is, you'll see the D-pad. And
Have your
on
4
the
favorite
eyeball
spells.
On the right is a bit of a grid. So the eyeball is an example of one of, not a slottable spell, but what we call an essential spell. There are certain spells that are used in very specific contexts, or that we just want on the controller at all times. And Revelio is one of those. That's left on the D-pad. On the right on the D-pad is that grid represents where you might slot spells. And so right now, today, we're not going to be going into the spell slotting menu.
Yeah, it's gonna have to get adjusted to it as you play, man, kind of thing.
What can we do?
I would like spoilers, but I understand.
But we do want to make sure there's still some goodies left to share with everyone. And then on the left side, that thing that has the L1 button next to it, that's another thing where we don't want to spoil. But basically, that's where you
expect some
access your
Corona.
tools. So there's a lot of magical tools that you're going to be kind of brewing and growing over the course of the game. And so that's where you would access them rapidly, is our tool wheel.
Okay, cool.
There are a few things that I left off the table on the right.
Thena's owl.
Your health, and basically there's a potion next to it. That's how you might heal. The bar above it, we're keeping a secret for now. I apologize. And all the way on the left is our mini map with the
stamina or something.
Where you are currently in your common room that updates as you travel through Hogwarts and beyond out into the world. And for those fans out there that aren't a huge fan of minimaps, because we know they exist, there's also options to remove the minimap and turn on or off different elements of our HUD.
You know, it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. Like, it's like an open world, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I've seen like a bunch of Harry Potter movies, and you know what I mean? Like, it's like it mostly takes place in the castle. So I mean, I know it's a big ass castle, so it's gonna be cool to explore that. But I'm definitely curious to see how the other parts of it, like the world part of it, is gonna be. I mean, I know they've been other places and stuff too, but
that's kind of that's what you're seeing there, and this is our HUD.
Also, Andrew's giving us a good look over here. I want to call out. I'm a big fan of the bedside tables in the dormitories. Very nice bedside tables.
They are nice bedside tables.
Yeah.
The honey-colored wood was mentioned in the writing.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta come back to school. So if you go somewhere, you gotta come back. You know what I mean? Like going on missions or something.
We really tried making these low-ceilinged dorms to give you that Badger set sort of feel.
The first thing I know is the music. The score is amazing with this.
Gorgeous.
And I'm calling out here, this is unique music that you're hearing for the
I like the way this looks, man. I do.
Those common room videos we released, you'll notice the music's a little bit different, and that is entirely intentional.
We just want to welcome you to your common room in every single house, just a little bit differently. So you can customize that experience right away.
Oh my gosh, that's so
That's
awesome.
cool though. I like that.
So I mean, beautiful design. We could spend like the entire rest of the stream just in the common room.
Wow, that's so good.
About it, and I'm sure Boston and James could be like just geeking out over it.
All the details come from J.K. Rowling's writings for this common room. The round doors, the hanging vines, even the dancing badgers.
Man, it looks so good.
Yeah.
It's very, very earthy.
Which is like elements for each of the houses, right?
Hufflepuff is earth, Ravenclaw is air, Gryffindor is fire, and Slytherin is water. We really leaned into that for each common room.
Wow.
So it feels earthy. We've got a little earthen passageway. That's what we were Hopefully, it should feel very familiar.
Yeah, it does. It does.
That's cool, bro. Like you probably could pick your clans and all that kind of stuff.
Thank you. I understand. Whoa, the sound effects though.
Clans,
Like,
you know what I mean?
looking
Your
back
group
at
or
the
whatever.
trailers, it was just music, but kind of hearing how Hogwarts is now. It's so cool.
Very tactile.
Yeah.
Andrew's going to make use of one of our spells, Revelio.
Use Revelio right here.
Yeah, the
Cool
sound is
shit
nice,
going
bro,
on.
too.
Yeah. So these are something that we kind of interchangeably call Revelio pages or lore pages. And you'll notice a bunch of things pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
You see that we got some XP for it. And you can also see that we've advanced something called like a field guide challenge up in the corner. So I want to talk about that a little bit. So we had to ask ourselves,
Continue, I'm sorry.
There may be something you may or may not be able to tickle there.
Yeah.
But in our game, we had to answer the question, you know, we're a late fifth year. What does that mean? How do we catch up to the other students?
Okay.
And so we have an answer to that question, and it's given to you by the staff. So there's something that we call
the sound band.
that's
It's
granted
cool.
to you early on in the game. And the Wizard's Field Guide is how you actually work on catching up with the other students. So Andrew, if you hit pause for me up here, before we push forward a little bit, you can see in our pause menu, it's got this book theme.
Wow.
That's your Wizard's Field Guide, and you can see your house kind of crest
in the middle,
overlaid over it.
Okay,
And you can see that on your level as well. So that the Field Guide has this magical property of looking out into the world around you. And the reason why it's on loan from the Ministry of Magic and the professors have granted it to you as a late fifth year student is because they want it to help you catch up to the other kids. And its magical property is to discover different opportunities to learn and grow all around you. So the way it works is, as you discover gameplay in the game, it actually recognizes that as a challenge, which is kind of locked into there. And Andrew, if you go in there,
And that's a slick way to incorporate like
combat challenges, quest challenges, exploration challenges, and you can see field guide pages are on there as well.
Yeah, 1%. We unlocked that one field guide page.
That entire category is one of the ways that the book itself kind of fills out into the school and spills out into the school and kind of hides itself with different types of challenges and different things to do around the school that you're actually going to interact with to grow as a wizard and practice your spells. And so that thing that we just saw is not just a field guide challenge and a way to earn XP. It's also something that that players can use to learn about the school as they're traveling around. They spot these little secret facts, and they can kind of play a little bit of a game, discovering all of them. And there are over 100 field guide pages just in Hogwarts alone. So.
Little glimpse of the grand staircase here. We're not gonna...
Circular staircase.
All the portraits.
The
and I did notice the flue flame just ignite right there, which was so cool.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Fast travel points there. House hourglasses. We had to. How much fun was it designing those and putting all those in
gorgeous,
there? But
that they're there just like in the books.
Yes.
Right
I want to see like some of the like threats and different things like that. You know, the combat and
We didn't turn it into like
some of the more
system,
feistier
something called
things.
narrative. And there are lots of choices where we want to nod to things that aren't necessarily gameplay systems, but we nod to them as part of the narrative.
Over to the right
Part of the
there,
wizard
Andrew
world.
was teasing. That's the Great Hall over through those doors. Again, we're not going there. He's just kind of like, no.
Cool.
Here's another collectible page. You know, just again showing you like just these things around Hogwarts that you can do. And
That look
pick
cool.
up and
That's a shot straight from the trailer too. Just that part right there. I recognize
we
that.
might be giving you a little fan service here. With,
Yeah, right now, so far I can say the visuals just look nice, but I gotta see more. I want to see like the interactivity with the background, like that way they did it with the book was really cool.
I get surprised by it all the time.
And I want to see like the battles, the fights,
Oh man.
which I assume it is. I mean, not unless it's just like you just learn the magic and you never have to use it in a defensive or offensive way.
Play, meet each other outside the Great Hall before and after meals.
And I love the way that when the castle interconnects to, that it interconnects outside, inside. There are pathways on both sides of things, so you really get a sense of scope to how big this castle is.
And when you see things, like you'll notice a bridge over there, that's a place you can go to and cross. Like everything that you see is a place that you can visit.
Wow.
We tried
So I take it the threats are probably out there. Like when you go out, leave, you're in trouble.
yourself a merry little Christmas.
Not just with student population, but even just the greenery and stuff. It's Scotland.
Yeah.
And this castle's been here for hundreds of years. So just kind of the moss and all the trees that have overgrown it and
Oh my gosh.
that landscape, that
This
Scottish.
location might look a little familiar to you.
I thought I recognized it. I believe this is from the Spring ASMR, and yes, so that puzzle right there, that view, Andrew is taking us right back to
I
that.
am going to tell Andrew not to interact with that puzzle and to keep moving on.
No.
We can't spoil everything. We can't give you everything, right?
Hogwarts contains a lot of secrets.
Oh my God.
But this is this grand entryway right here coming down into a really kind of central area.
Yeah, we're coming upon the central hall, and we pointed out the greenhouse outside, and we'll notice when we get down there that it's on the right.
This is a big hub of the school. Like it's a big castle, but it is designed so you shouldn't get very lost. This is kind of a grand central station.
I love that. I love
Each
that.
direction, you know, it's green over there, so the greenhouse is over there. Transfiguration Courtyard, you know, the library straight ahead. So it's kind of the hub of a lot of the castle.
Even
Yeah.
the color, visually, you can just tell. Okay,
Every game I play, I gotta get used to like directions or whatever, like where everything's at. Especially like these kind of games, open world games.
Learn the castle and feel like you know your way around.
So you know, you get to the point of getting like a map or whatever, and you can kind of mark stuff.
It is a castle.
It's a castle.
Great point.
I love that Andrew's definitely teasing a lot of things here. I'm noticing he's swinging the camera this way and that.
Yeah.
He's got this grin on his face over there that's just like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm
from the reveal trailer. There's that dragon. Oh my God.
This is another location where the students will gather, you know, and just kind of chill out.
And an opportunity to talk to somebody, get a quest giver here.
Okay, quest.
Is everything all right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm Nellie, by the way. I'm just so excited that the Daedalian keys are back.
The what keys?
The Daedalian keys. Surely you've seen them flying about. Rumour is that a former headmistress, Professor Mole, conjured them to protect the contents of certain locked cabinets years ago. Professor Black couldn't be bothered to disenchant the keys, and they appear every few years. You should try to catch one.
Why would I do that?
Each key will lead you to a locked cabinet somewhere in the castle. If you can manage to get the key into the cabinet lock, not an easy task, you may find a reward.
Okay. Little friendly quest. It's not like, you know what I mean, a lot of danger attached.
I hope you do. In fact, I think I heard one of the keys in the astronomy tower. You should listen for them.
So those kind of side quests are really,
Okay.
it's a cool way to interact with your fellow students, with perhaps other teachers, with, you know, various things like that, as well as teach you some more of the secrets of Hogwarts, I think. There's
in
a
this
little
case,
bit of that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So the students are a way to kind of like flesh out the school, opportunities around it, what we can do, and then those interactions, different interactions with different characters can also offer different choice points for the player, and then some of those things can affect things game wide. Some of these affect characters' lives.
I love that.
The ending of the game.
And sometimes it's just about you being a little
Yes.
bit of a nice guy or just being a jerk.
Yes, absolutely. So,
I love that.
But those opportunities exist for the player.
Wow, look at this.
This is the
I love those type of games where like every decision matters, you know, and like it kind of affects the overall like story, like the outside world. You know, it just kind of just creates this what do you call it? Like with just consistency, you know, like with the characters and you know who they come in and they can develop and change. And like, you know, like if you I'm not gonna get into that, but I love that. I think that's so cool, and that's going to be one of the parts I'm looking forward to the most.
Dada, Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Power.
Which this is one of my favorite locations in the castle. Just visually, you come in here and just the richness of this area.
Very iconic, very unique to anywhere else in the castle.
Somebody else that we can talk to, notably a younger student.
Yeah, she looks like a first year or an 11-year-old.
Shody.
Are you all right?
Don't you know who I am? Zenobia Noak, the girl whom everyone at school hates for no reason.
Everyone hates you. Why?
Because Hogwarts is full of bullies and spoilsports. Leander Pruitt's one of the worst, that no-talent moon mind. I wanted to make some new friends, and so I brought my collection down to the common room. My gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with gobstones? Little balls, like marbles. Grand game. And if you lose, they spray you with a foul-smelling liquid.
I haven't much interest in a game that sprays you with odors.
Only if you lose, which I never do. Or at least, not often. People can be so cruel. Just because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own fault for losing. Imelda is one of the worst losers. Everett and Astoria are terrible as well. And now those poor losers have taken my gobstones.
I'd be like, shut up, girl.
Very high places
Shut
all
up.
over the school.
And you talk too much.
Sounds as if you caused the smelly situation and they responded accordingly.
I didn't make the rules. Anyway, I can't work out how to get them back on my own. I don't think I know the necessary spells yet. I need someone, perhaps a selfless and talented 5th year to help me.
Kick rocks, kid.
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate the help. If you do find all of my gobstones, do come and see me again. I'll be back to playing Snake Pit and Jackstone by myself in no time.
I love that interaction with her because there's so many ways that you can go with that. You can you can feel for her. You can be a jerk to her. You can be like, gobstone sounds awful. It sounds like you're just mean.
Yeah, and your opportunities to be mean there aren't over. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I've been watching a lot of those playing these type of games where you have these choices and stuff, and people take the deviant route, the psychopathic route. And I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. There's something satisfying about it.
Honestly, it's it's an amazing thing on the franchise. How many things about this,
but being nice is fun too. It's cool.
Want to turn into gameplay, and there were calls that we had to make over the course of production of kind of like which things we will and won't include in the bucket, just kind of for the overall
Wizard's chess.
Those are things that aren't featured.
Yeah. They're featured within the world. Right?
I'm glad they're mentioned. They're a part of the wizarding world.
Yeah. Every single time there was something that we regretted because we couldn't include it. We also tried to figure out a way to make sure that it was included in the narrative, included in the stories, make sure that there's a way to kind of like acknowledge it, touch it, you know, and make it feel like it's definitely part of the world.
Fucking ads.
And I know here too, we're like,
I was like, we're in the Defense Against the Dark Arts class. I recognize that staircase to the left where we were just at. Andrew was walking by. I also recognize the dragon at the very top. Oh my gosh.
Being in a classroom, I think this is a good opportunity to talk about how classes work, because we've gotten a lot of questions about that. Is it a schedule-based system? Is it so tell us how classes work?
Yeah, so ultimately decided not to go the sim route. So I think like one of the speculations was, is there time of day and you know, that kind of thing. Like, can I miss class at this time of day?
There is a day-night cycle.
Yeah, there is a day-night cycle, but everything is very narrative-based, and so there's a big mystery going on in the world. There's something happening in the narrative, and we essentially see it as kind of like chapters in that narrative. Each chapter of which has a set of missions that you can choose between as you're progressing through the game, and classes fit within that structure. So there are mainline things that the players have to do, and then classes also appear on the sides as well as optional things that help you advance your spells. It's absolutely true that classes provide all of your major tools throughout the gameplay, your spells, your major abilities. You get to know the professors. Each one of them has these bespoke kind of events and moments in those missions. And then there are also additional opportunities outside of that through kind of like side classroom missions, essentially, where you can learn additional spells or things that you need in your adventure and also get to know the professors better.
Yeah, I'm gonna need them. I'm gonna need them spells, bro.
Andrew's been kind of showing off.
Need everything I can get, really.
The environment and just engage with the world, and maybe down there who's sipping some tea with the
Victorian high,
high society.
High society.
And it's no wonder you like this area because we built it for like the purebloods and the Slytherin.
Well, I like how they did, so much for the school. That's really cool.
Sound effects again, the chatter of the communication that's happening and the footsteps, it just makes it feel more alive.
Little events like that.
Yeah, sound design is crazy. Visuals look nice. Yeah, just.
The data tower was one example, but no two hallways should look the same in Hogwarts. It has a lot of personality. Every hallway should be a little bit different, and that's mostly to help orient the player.
Right.
Help you not get lost. But this is Hesperus Hall. That's a little nod from the Marauders, a name that came from the Marauders map. But every hallway will have a little bit of a different personality and
personality. I like that because it does like Hogwarts has character. Hogwarts is its own character no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Feels just a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's a sentient castle full of magic for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
It's going to kind of grow and develop. Oh, I heard something.
Yeah. Speaking of characters.
Speaking of magic, Mr. Magic himself.
My future poltergeist too.
We talked about building on lore too. I know
Yeah, that'd be cool, like to have the development of, how you can become like a novice. You're like a novice in the beginning, and then by the end of the game, you like have all these spells, and you're so like, you know what I mean, like a real wizard.
We know the fat lady hides there.
Hides behind it. That's right.
The third book. But sometimes a hallway has personality by how it looks, or we just passed a music hallway where the portraits have kind of taken it over, and so the sound makes it really unique.
All right, I got to call this out here. I know there's been some criticism in the past that our trailers and our gameplay and what we've shown so far has not had enough owls. Okay, so here we are at the Owlery. We're looking directly at the Owlery to show you all of the owls.
It's a lot of owls.
It's a lot of owls at the Owlery.
I love the fog rolling down.
Great callback. Great call.
I also love that
I want to see the magic. I want to see the spells. I want to see some freaking fighting.
All those things that I see are places that I can go to, that I can visit. I just love that sensation, knowing that is real.
I love the Scottish countryside.
I mean, this is cool, man. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. They got like this expansive school because it is like I said, everything's there. I mean, they put a lot of detail, a lot of work into it. So I understand them showing all this. But I mean, you're gonna explore this stuff. You know what I mean? You're gonna be walking around exploring this shit.
Students have put together. Professors definitely know about it, but they think they're being clever. And it's run by this Luke and Brattleby here.
In the younger year, but we kind of like that.
But it might take a while in game before you even get to like that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Action and shit.
May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a try now?
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
And this is a really good opportunity to jump into combat.
Let's see some magic.
In the game, this is going to be the first time where you yourself get to learn about combat and combos in a big way and in a new way. For me personally, this was where the game really starts to open up to the possibilities.
So we've
you gotta be able to handle yourself, man. Open world.
And this is kind of an activity where you're supposed to execute according to kind of the iconography on the top. Now, what we see on the top is the Accio spell, followed by 4 what we just kind of lovingly refer to as basic shots. There's certain spells what the wizards kind of use, just kind of fling. Andrew's using one now. And you trigger that by tapping R2 on your controller. So you can see in the corner R2. So if you tap R2, that throws out a basic shot. But that R2 is also your gateway to all of the spells that you might slot. So if you hold R2 instead, you can see how the diamond expands. And if you let go, you see how it contracts. Yeah. And so if you hold it again, it expands. And so when it expands, then all the spells that you slotted while you're holding that button can now be tapped with your face buttons.
Awesome.
And not only that,
yes, I love that.
You can gain additional spell diamonds, up to 4 additional ones, so that you can slot up to 16 spells, pretty much instantly. And then that helped us fulfill the fantasy of in combat.
16 spells.
Very rapidly.
Yeah.
And so you learn over the course of these events, how to juggle not just the spell casting, but also it reinforces an understanding of another feature of the wheel, which is their cooldowns. So as you're casting spells, just to make sure that you're not just kind of like repeatedly using one thing over and over and over again, you can see cooldowns on the spells that he's using on the wheel. And then as you progress through the game, there are different things that
this is like knockback,
talents, different things that allow you to kind of like
lift them up,
juggle and adjust and update those things. And so if you hold down R2 and you tap the D-pad, it will switch between your other diamonds if you've unlocked them, and that's how you access all this.
Oh man, it looks like we're about to get some action over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna take some practice for your boy. They're gonna take some practice.
Together,
So you
pull those combos
right
together.
Here. Yeah. Accio, tap.
Levioso, levitate.
Awesome.
Well done,
and then just smack them
the dummy, but I mean,
like silly.
I'd say that's enough practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
I think now we can take on something a little more challenging. It's gonna shoot back.
Yeah, I was like, man, I don't know how you're gonna handle yourself like that. You know what I'm saying? You levitate them. Levioso.
Is the next round of crossed wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
We're on a PS5 dev kit here, so we're gonna be able to kind of pause the action and talk about what you're seeing on the screen, because there's about to be a lot going on.
Okay.
Oh goodness. Here we go. This is what I wanted, some action.
If you want to fight with somebody else, some of your classmates, but in this case we're not. We want that action to feel a little more.
Well, at least you ain't gotta wait till you leave the school to get some action. You know what I'm saying?
Combat.
So apparently you've got quite the reputation because they've got you up against 3 people.
3 people. That's what I was talking about, like, man, like doing the levitate thing against more than one opponent, bro. That's gonna be rough.
So you're not the only one that has Protego and the ability to deflect. The enemies do too. And we actually play with that when it comes to the spell casting. So you notice that there are different colored kind of shields around the different characters. And you also notice that your spells have different colors on them. So to help players understand kind of like the function of their spells, we're trying to put them into brackets. So there are damage spells, there are force spells, there are, I'm forgetting the other one, all this control spells. And so those.
All right, and he's doing the damn thing, ain't he?
Also being a color indicator for which actual spell to use to break the different shields that enemies can use. That way it rewards kind of like that close attention that you're paying on things.
We've got this paused here now.
Okay.
You kind of see all the elements on the screen. The halo.
He beasting and feasting, bro.
Each of the different shields to kind of give us a breakdown of what's going on.
Give us a breakdown of different things that you're saying. So you notice at the top that we're kind of like calling out which enemy you currently have targeted and their level and health. And so, as you target different characters, you'll be able to get that breakdown. The halo over your head, whenever an enemy is about to an attack, it's almost like you have a little bit of a sixth sense for those things that are coming. If you see the halo, it means there's an incoming attack. And if you tap the triangle button by default, then that you'll be able to deflect that attack that comes in and off with the Protego.
And I love
that. Oh, that's nice.
Goes off and like hits things up and kind of breaks things off walls too.
But also, if you hold the button, then it doesn't just deflect. It also deflects and turns around with a counter attack stupefy that actually stuns the enemy. And you can use that even in your combos and stuff. So if you're focused on a character, and you're doing your thing, and someone else attacks you, you can actually turn that attack into a direct attack on the person that you're comboing.
Back into gameplay here. Andrew's gonna.
All right. I mean, I like it. I like what I see. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little complex for me a little bit right now. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's a lot that goes into Harry Potter, bro. Like with the different spells and things like that. So.
Yeah, we really felt like We really felt like
they got a lot to tackle.
Movies, there's almost like a.
But hey, shit, you know what I'm saying? Handle your business.
Very great distance.
That's a good call.
And there are a lot of things that we had to do with our controls and combat system in order to kind of capitalize on that idea that's pretty unique to the Wizarding world.
Understandable.
Well, perhaps you should try that next time. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning. Or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then.
Hey.
The next round is for all the gods.
Practice make perfect.
And that is more or less going to wrap it up for us for now, for what we wanted to show you. Character creator, tour of Hogwarts.
Okay. I got a little bit of action at the end, man. That was cool. I'm glad we got that.
Leave you without maybe a little taste of something that we may show in the future, may show next time. You know, so leaving the castle, going out here.
More owls confirmed.
Owl mail. There's the owlry again. Yes, all of the owls. But yeah, just heading out here again to show you, like, from Hogwarts.
It's a lot more like left to be desired about this game from what I've seen so far. I mean, visually, the sound, just everything. It looks like really beautiful. Looks very pretty. I definitely want to see more of this world. You know, we got to see a lot of the castle, which is really cool. But I want to see more of this world, bro. It's still like 10 minutes left. But yeah, man, definitely want to see a little bit more. But either way, I think I'll be curious to kind of just discover it myself as I play the game, man, because I'm kind of already enticed just by the visuals and everything. The action part, like learning it, discovering it, trying to, like, you know, master it or whatever. You know, it might give you that actually give me that, like, feeling of, you know, becoming like a wizard and stuff like that, you know, from a student to a master. So I don't know, man. I think it's pretty cool. Like I said, been trying to get into these open world type of games, different things like that, because like I watched different videos on these kind of games and they look super fun and super cool, but you know what I mean? Like I want to have my own experience too. So yeah, we're going to finish Zelda. We're going to keep going with that. You know, eventually we'll finish it. Pokemon's coming out, so you know I'm about to be on that. On it. And when it's come out, man, maybe, you know what I mean? Eventually, maybe I'll get this game and we could do a playthrough, especially if you guys, you know, support this kind of video. So anyways, I'm going to let the rest of this play out. Let's just check it out.
I have a few other questions here at the end of things. So while we're done with what we're showing on the gameplay side, I know there's a few things that you want to pick Alan and Boston's brains about.
I would love
Okay, yeah.
There's a lot.
Got to learn a little bit more.
All right, so some of these questions we did pull from the community secretly, but I did pull from the community. So,
and also from, I mean, going through this, I feel like you've come up with some things you want to talk a little more about. I'm sure.
Elaborate on, because we went through character customization, Hogwarts itself, and even combat. So this would be like for the both of you guys. Will we be able to go back and change our character creation if we don't like it?
So not everything, but there are certain things with hairstyle, hair color, so kind of like core shapes, you know, like with the body and face, not after the fact.
Okay.
But there are lots of things. There's kind of like a barber shop in Hogsmeade that you can go to, and
of course,
inside
there's a wizard barber.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like your character's gonna get like facial reconstruction surgery or some shit. You know what I mean?
A lot of appearance customization in it. So there's.
I mean, if you want to change your character, bro, like all over, just start over. You know.
Your character and stuff that you have, the character creator. It's like a smaller set of what you saw there.
Okay. Oh my gosh! Awesome. Next question: what kind of leisurely activity can we do? Can we study with our free time? I mean, what will we be doing just hanging out in Hogwarts?
Because as you progress through the game, there's a bunch of different missions that open up. Most of them are driven by different characters' personalities. You know, some of them want help getting up to hijinks, or some of them want to just explore secrets in the castle because there are new secrets in our castle to explore. And so, so I think there's a bunch of things to do. And when it comes to class, as I mentioned earlier, it's not just kind of like the mainline stuff. There are kind of like extracurricular assignments, some of which are optional, some of which are kind of like blockers for main mission. Kind of like you can't go on this mission until you have the spell. And then the spell is open, you know, the assignment and how you complete it with your professor. And so there are opportunities to to study, so to speak, like
Right.
with that.
Right.
But they do all take the form of our mission structure. Yeah.
As you mentioned earlier. Wow. Let's get into some combat right quick. Do spells have different levels, or are they all equal?
Do spells have different levels, or are they all equal? I'm trying to think of how to describe that. So each spell has kind of like its own core identity and what it does in the game, with regards to both kind of like puzzling, world exploration, and enemy combat and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then it's through the talent system.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
When you go into that, it's kind of like each of those spells has ways to kind of like advance and grow and change.
Okay.
And as you spend talents, in some cases, it even changes.
I want the death
way you
spell.
approach the battlefield and things like that. So I'd say that's no more true than with like dark arts, for example. And as you go down that line and you kind of play around with those talents, it really does start to kind of like affect even how you approach combat and how you think about the battlefield.
I won't be touching the dark art stuff, but I know many of you guys will be.
Maybe on your second playthrough?
Second playthrough, yes. Dark Hufflepuff coming.
I don't know, bro. You know, I got a dabble in the dark arts.
For everybody, and we'll start with Boston. With this game that you guys have been working on for however long, and the excitement you guys have, what's one aspect of Hogwarts Legacy that you are excited for the fans to experience? Boston.
I think I'm just excited for the fans to play through the world, specifically the castle, and maybe go read those books again. I hope that whether you're already a fan and love
I'm curious about the rest of the world, bro. Like for real, I'm just like, man.
They just point at each other.
I want to see how vast it is. Castle, they put that much detail in the castle.
Finally, go to Hogwarts and feel like they can own it and live there. I've lived there for 5 years. It's a great place to live. Official 5th year.
Appreciate the work they put in, man. Looks nice, bro.
I want to give a different answer, and I will. But I actually feel like the most honest answer is really similar. Because my favorite thing when running around, playing the game, and getting to know Hogwarts the way Boston knows it, because she knows the school and the lore better than I do, and thank God, right? Because you want the person architecting it to really know that. But when I rewatch the films or I'm rereading passages from the books, there's a different relationship to those things having played the game.
Right.
And so it's really looking over the edge and seeing
like you like in it.
Like, oh,
you know what I mean?
And in the movie saying, I know what's around that corner in the film. Like if you go down this way, there's actually a thing over here, and there's this person over here, and this thing happened, and it just adds all this richness.
It's like more immersive.
You're going to add your own story.
Yeah.
So you know what happens around that corner because you did something.
Yeah.
And then the quick answer, just to have something different, is I just love being on a broom. I just love looking at the whole world and just being like, okay, I can just go.
I can go there.
That vantage point,
It's just something exhilarating about it that feels very different in that kind of open air and on that thing. It just it's kind of incredible.
Yeah, that's something else I'm curious about.
For me,
the flying.
The community together with it and sharing those stories, because it is your story, and you are going to be writing, this is your unique experience within this, and even within the things that are the same, it's going to be your unique experience. It's different from mine. It's different from, we're all approaching it from different places, and I think that's going to be really cool, the way that everybody brings those things together. All right, and that's everything that we have to show you today. I know maybe it wasn't everything you wanted to see, but it was a whole lot of stuff. Character creator, a little mini tour of Hogwarts there, just a small part of it, a little bit of combat. And we do have some more stuff coming up for you in the future. Hogwarts Legacy.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up here, man. Yeah, looks cool, man. The world, just from a snapshot view, looks really nice. So it'll be very interesting to dive into some of that stuff. On an unrelated note, Pokemon, I hope you can fly on that one, man. Like when you fly from town to town, I hope it's like less restrictive and it's like you can actually fly around. Actually, I think I did see like the thing flying, but I just don't know. Yeah, it should be, man. Legend Arts, they did it. So anyways, all right, yeah, this was cool, man. I definitely want to play this, bro. I think it'd be cool. Just because like I said, you just in it yourself. You get to be a part of it yourself. So I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.